So it uses machine learning algorithm that like it groups a similar pixels or objects into a cluster based on their characteristics. So like when it sees an imagery, so it uses machine learning algorithm to group it into uh, clusters based on their characteristics. Like, but you need to know without the prior knowledge. So, but you need to look at the imagery and able to say that it grouped it into this. This is what it is. So, it bring them together based on their characteristics. So, if you look at some of the features of uh, imagery, like how you get to know what is it in remote sensing or photogrammetry. So there are several ways it gave it groups, and then one of the ways is based on the characteristics, which can be colors, pattern, size, shape, geometry, and hue, such like colors, the way it shows those bounds. So in this, we are going to use unsupervised classification. So we just want to bring them into grouping based on the characteristics or the pieces that look similar. So that's what we're going to do. We are not going to train it today. So we are not going to use supervised. So we're going to use unsupervised, where the machine language machine learning algorithm automatically gets that done for us. So all we need to do is we put them into different like group them. After that, we now give them the classes that we want it to be. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So from the last time, so we have actually downloaded the imagery, which I believe you have downloaded,
Yes,
and
sir.
so we downloaded
Like,
2014 and 2024, right?
I downloaded 2019 to 2024, 5 years.
Yeah, so your voice is far, but I can't hear you.
No, no, I have call.
Okay, so
Hello,
you
can
can
you hear me,
see,
sir?
yeah, this is the two data we downloaded, which is in zip folder. So what we need to do is both of them. So this one, I'm going to extract it. This is the first thing I'm going to do. You can see 214. I will extract, and then it is now extracting it. See it up here. Then I am going to go to 2024, still click on extract and get it extracted. So you see here now that we have extracted it from the zip folder it is now to a folder. Now if you open up from 2014, if you double click on it, you can see the different imagery here, the bounds and rest of them. So you can see band 1, this is how you get to know the band. You see here TI, that is B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11. So these are different bounds as you can see. So in this case, I will just want to pick a bound that I want. Now I am returning back to the ArcGIS environment here, and I'll click on the plus sign. And when I click on the plus sign, I just want to add those bounds here so that we can see how they looks here. So now when I click on this, then the next thing is I have copied the directory, so I'm going to paste it here, and I click add, and then you can see now that we have all the bound as exactly what we have inside here down there in the ArcGIS environment. But I'm interested in, because I'm using Landsat 8, so I'm interested in natural color. So I am going to pick band 4, band 3, band 2, and band, I want to pick band 8, which is the pancometric, and then I will add all of them here. So you see when I add them, so it's going to load, it's calculating, computing the statistic, and then this is it here. So you see here that I have here band 4, here I have band 3, here I have band 2, and I have pancometric. So this is the bound I need. So if I turn off this, you can see the different way all of them are looking here. So this is a different visualization if you want to visualize them. So this is how they are looking. Now remember what I told you last time, that the band combination. So if you combine band 432 in Landsat 8, you are going to have natural color. So you remember what we talked about? That's exactly what I'm going to do. So first and foremost, I have bring them here. I can choose not to bring it here, but I just brought it here so that you can see what I mean, and what I'm talking about, how it looks normally without us making a band composite on it, like composite on it. So this is just how it looks, and if you zoom close, you will see each of them here. You can see it here. So if I click on this, you should be able to see the way all of them are showing differently. This is band 2, and then if I turn on this is band chromatic band. So if you see here, and I see it's looking differently, but this is band. You can see here, this is like a vegetation here, this is like a residential area. So you can see how they look in different bands. So now what do I mean? Now when I'm talking about panchromatic, which is band 8, that have a higher resolution, you can see here in this residential area, you see the way it looks. Now if I turn on band 2, you will see it is more hazy. That is means it is blur. You see those roads you can see here are no more distinct. And that is what I mean, that the band 8 have higher spatial resolution. So if you look at all of them, you can see that it's only band 8 that you'll be able to see, oh, this looks like a pattern cluster of residential area. So this is just what I was trying to tell you about, explaining different spatial resolution of each of those band clusters. So on this case, I am going to go here. I have imported this, and I have this is 2014, as you can see. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go to Arc2 box. When I go to Arc2 box, then I have to do band composite. And then band composite is a process of stacking this imagery, like this different band as one. So this is multi, because it is a multi-band. So I'm going to now bring them, stack them to form one single imagery. And that single imagery, because I am interested in natural color, and that's why I have to go for 4, 3, 2. You get what I'm trying to say? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so this is the process. So when I get in here to Arc2 box, now you can see here we have here, these are different. Here you see classification here. I bring it out like as a tools up here, and you can see other rasters here. Like you go down here, you can see here that I have, this is what we use in spatial analysis. As you can see, this is multivariate here, which is the same thing we have here, band collection statistics. You can still use this. You can see whatever I have here, edit signature, ISO cluster, unsupervised classification, maximize likelihood, principal component. These are the same thing you have here, as you can see here. Now if you go
Yes,
to
sir.
that, if you go to data management tools here, you can see here raster, and when you get to raster, you go to raster processing. This is where I am interested in, because I want to do band composite. So now composite band, this is what I clicked on, and this is going to come up here, which is create a single raster data set from multiple bands. So in these multiple bands, you can see each of them here. This is 4, 3, 2, and 8. So I can decide to come here and select all of them like this, and drag each of them and drop them here once. So this is what I want to do up here. So I am dragging all of them once to here, or I can select it from here. Like click on this, select it here, and it will be added here. Now you see now that it's arranged in band 4, 3, 2, and 1 and 8, which if I want to change it for any reason, I can do this to rearrange it. You see 8 here, I click on this, it comes down here. So but I want to make it in natural color, because natural color have to be RGB, have to be 432. Now band 8 is to compensate, which is like doing image fusion to improve the spatial resolution. So that's why I have to
Okay,
bring
okay,
band
okay.
8. Now, by default, I want to leave it to wherever it is here. And then once I am done, I'm going to click OK. So when I click OK, you can see it will start running and making the band composite. So when it is done, it's going to have a new, that is output to a single, all this is going to be to a single image, like single data set, raster data set. So if you see here, you see it is only showing us the value. 8 is between here, and when you look at this, you see 124.99 to 8946. And if you look at this, you can see the ranges are not the same thing. So, but when we have the output of the band composite, which is what is working on, you see that we are going to have RGB. And then RGB gives us the natural color. And like I said, band 4, band 3, and band 2 gives us the natural color, which was exactly what we talked about last time. So this is a way you can make back composite. You go to Arc Toolbox Tools, you go to data management here, as you can see, this is data management tools. Then you go to raster, and when you get to raster, you go to raster processing, and when you get to raster processing, go down to composite raster.
Composite
And
file.
yeah, so when you get there, you can now stack it, arrange it the way you want, depending on what you have in mind, which is 4, 3, 2, and then I add band 8 because of the image fusion. So in image fusion, you bring a raster that have a higher, lower resolution and higher resolution, and then merge them to improve the spatial resolution of those ones that have that does not have a high spatial resolution. So that's exactly what that works on for. So now if you look here now, you see that I have RGB. And if you zoom out a bit, you will see that the raster we have turned to the natural image, as you can see.
Mm.
So it is now a natural data set, that is natural color. So you see here, it turns it here. You can see, oh, this is, you see what I was talking about? This is actually a residential area. So you see it here. Now I'm going to turn off this, leaving only this now. Now look at what I mean by R to RGB. Now look at band 1, because I arrange it this way, because all things being equal, I can stack all the imageries and select the band I want. But now I want to change band 1 to band 2, and look at what will happen to the imagery. The color will change because the arrangement is changing. So R have to be band 1 because I made it RGB. So if you look here, you see here the way it's changing. So G is supposed to be band 2, and the same thing, blue color, if you make it 4, which is the band chromatic, is going to change the color. So but if you want to see it in natural color, leave it like this. And if you turn off any of the color, you see the imagery will also change. Now I only have red and blue band. So you can see here that these have automatically given us a natural color. So I'm going to turn it back again. Now what test do I need to do? I have done this. So you can see here we have a bare soil here, we have vegetation here, we have this is bare rock that looks like a rock. Now this is residential area. Now in supervised classification, which we are going to talk about, you see here now that we have here like looks like a farm. You can look at the color, it looks more of a farm. Here looks like a thick vegetation, that's a forest. Here look like a rock. Now here look like a residential area. For me, the primary things I need to consider here is those 4 things that I mentioned. Now if you look up here, you can see water here. This is water body. Now this is for 2014. So by this I am going to remove this, right click and then say remove, because I don't need this again. Now I have this particular one here, which is 214. Now I will go again and click add. I will return back to 2024, which you can see here. Now I will also pick the same band of imagery I selected, and then this is 432, and I also want to add band 8 to it. Now let me show you what I'm saying if I don't want to bring those
Sorry,
imagery.
Sam. Where do you see that
You see?
four? Like for us to identify the bands
Yeah,
from adding data.
I said identifying the band. Look at the B4. You
Mm.
see B. This is
Okay, B. Okay, I've seen it. I've
yeah,
seen it.
B3. Yeah. So, like coming back to what I was telling, that I may not want to bring this imagery here the way I did before, first one, as I wanted to explain. I'll go to active box here and I'll go to band composite here. Now, when I go here, you see I didn't bring 2024. What I need to do is here, instead of me clicking on this, I'll click on this to look for the location.
Yeah,
Now you
yeah.
can see here that I have 2024 here. You can see. So step back a bit to be sure. This is 2024. I'll click on it. Now I will still select band 4 to 2, and I will also hold control to select band 8, and you see, and I'll add it. Now this is going to load here, and if you look here now, you see that from the way it load, you see here, this is the directory, and you can see the first one is band 4. Go to the second one, hover your mouse over it. The band one is band 2. You see now, go hover over it again. This is band 3. So I want to move this band 3 to the position of band 2. If you hover over it, you see 3. You go to this one, hover over it, you see 2. Go to this one, you see 8. And this is the way I want it to be. I can also edit the location. It is not a must, but why I know why I don't want to change the location, because I want to use the final one to be what I will save in the location I want. That is why I'm still leaving it
Okay.
like that. Yeah. If not, I'm just putting it in the default geodatabase. So I can change the location, I can change the name, but I don't need to do that now for no reason. I don't have any reason. So now, when you look here, see I've arranged it. The next thing I will do is to click OK. Now, you can see now I didn't bring in the imagery here, but yeah, sorry, so I didn't bring in the imagery here, but I am working on it. So now what are we going to do? You remember that we are going to use the ife, the boundary, to continue working. So
Yeah.
I will have to also import the boundary. So I will also have to import the boundary. So once this one is
Well,
done,
it
so
is
I will
in
bring
PNG.
in the boundary of our place of interest. Now, while I'm going to bring in the boundary, the boundary is, we are working on Ife. So I have to bring in the Ife boundary. So while I am going to bring in Ife boundary, I want to explain something to you while we are waiting for this to finish up. So in this part, you see down here, what we're going to use today is unsupervised, and I've explained to you what unsupervised mean. So before I do that unsupervised classification, I am going to do something we call principal components. And the principal component is you do it in the input imagery. And the reason for the principal components is that you also reduce noise. You reduce noise. It will help you in the future extraction. So what you do is that you reduce the dimension of the multispectral or hyperspectral, which
Yes,
improve the
please,
image
where do you see this
classification.
classification? Where do you
This,
see this one?
you see?
Is it under search?
Yeah, is in classification. Is if you right click here, you go down to image
Okay.
classification here, check it.
Okay.
It's going to come out. Yeah, so now this is, you can see here, this is 2024. As you can see the way it's looking different from the other one. So you see it up here. You can see the way it is actually looking here. So if I turn off this, you see the difference between then and 2024.
But it has cloud cover.
Yeah, that's cloud cover. Yes. So the cloud cover having a bit of haze and rest of them. So if you click here, you see that the residential here is also there. So now for me to improve this imagery, I am going to use the principal component here. So I'll click on the principal component here, and I am going to select the 2024. So let me remove it and open here. and I'll add it up here. The first one, which is 955, so you remove it, you add it here, or you select here and drag it into this place. So now it's going to be the principal component here, as you can see. So I am going to click OK. So the first one is the one I want to do first. So once I am done, I am going to click OK, and that particular one is done. So I wait for it, and like I said, it helps you in improving, reducing data reduction. So it helps you in the aspect of improving the quality, like reduce the noise and redundancy, enhance the information so that it will look better than what it is. So for me, I like doing that before going into what I want to do. So I have to improve the imagery using the principal components before doing the classification. So when we finish, you will probably see the difference between that and what we have as the RGB imagery. So though it's going to be in another color, but with that it will help you now improve the imagery, reducing the noise and other redundancy that might be on the satellite imagery. Yeah. So we will have other software as we go on that are used in processing remote sensing imagery, but for now, so we have like to use it like this and get familiarized with certain things, and as we keep on growing in knowledge, we keep on making it look better than what it is. Yeah. So as we wait for it, it's still coming. So once it comes in, so I'm going to import the Nigerian shapefile and then probably get the if not. I think that's if not, right? Yeah. So we get the if not. Either we use the KML file that we had, or we bring in our own file. Either we bring the shapefile or we use the KML file. Which of them is going to work perfectly? Yeah. So this is the
So sorry,
principal.
sir.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah. Go
Can we
ahead.
bring KMZ file
Is
directly?
is that?
I said, can we bring KML file directly to ArcGIS
Yes,
directly?
that's why I was saying that either we bring in the KML
Oh,
file.
I
So
thought we
see,
have to convert it to shapefile first.
yeah, you have to convert in QGIS. You don't need to convert, but here you need to make the conversion.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe we can make the conversion here, like
Mm,
show you how it is done instead of bringing the shape files, because we have been using the shape file. So in getting that done, so we will go down to Active Box again here, and we go to Conversion Tools, and we go from KML file here. You go Conversion Tools, go from, because you want to bring KML file to layer, so it have to be from. But when you have a layer you want to bring to KML file, you go here to make it into KML file. So this is the
okay, sir.
tools we are going to use, but we are going to do that once this particular, the principal components of
Okay.
2024 satellite imagery is done. So we will be able to bring that in. Yeah. So if not, we would have, because you might make it not work the moment this one is running and you bring in another one. So to save us from that, so we will definitely have to wait for this one to finish up. So then we go ahead. So it's used to transform data into input band from the multivariate attribute to space new, and whose axle and rotation to the original axle. So if you look, you see I wanted us to like look at what is the function, but like I explained, while we're waiting for it, so I wanted us to like, okay, let's make like a bit explore on the principal components and how they work. So it catches the redundancy between the data sets. But in elevation heat shape is the redundancy tree set if is so much. So this is what it's talking about. So and this is the process of you bringing them in, and this is the PC layer 1, and this is what was changed. This is what it was accumulated. So it is just like I said, sometimes use it to improve the imagery and make it looks better. Yeah, so I think this is taking a bit time, so but that's it, what it ought to be. Yeah, so if you look at these two imagery, you see there is a bit shift here, you can see here. So it means that the ties are not matching exactly to where the other one is, but the features are the same thing despite the cloud cover, as you see this. Now if you look at this and look at this one, you will probably see the difference between them. Like there is still the same place, and it looks like over the 10 years there is no changes as related to the water body. Yeah, there is no change as related to the water body. So wait for it a bit, and once it is done, so we can proceed to the next part.
But the school itself, I don't think it falls here.
You say?
Like our school,
Yeah,
it's
your
not
school.
falling inside there.
You say it is what?
Yes. Like I'm trying to locate the school.
Yeah, it is to locate it. That's why we have to use the shape file, because for me, I don't even know where the school is located right now. Probably maybe you will know, but that's why for me, I am going to use, I think the school is supposed to be somewhere around here.
The one I downloaded.
Yeah, I think somewhere here, the school should be somewhere here. I'm not sure. So for us, what we are going to do is we are going to use the shapefile to locate it, because that's the best thing we can do.
For that river, that river
What, this one?
is in our yes, is within the school.
Okay, this river is within the school.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So this is what we were saying last time. This is a way you can check whether there is changes in the water over the years. So when you now have this, let's say you train this to be water body, this color to be water body, and you also train this imagery also to be water body, you will check whether there is encroachment or no encroachment. For me, I just feel like it seems like the water is reducing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's like what I just see.
And also, it depends on
Yeah,
the month the image.
because when I look here, if I zoom close to a bit here, and then I will turn on this, I will see that this is closing up, even though the imagery is not a bit clear, but this is looks like it is slowing down, coming in a bit, maybe due to like encroachment from people here living around it, so it's making it look a bit yeah, smaller. But we will find out when we are done. If it is within the school, that will be good. So if not within the school, we are working on generally in Ife. are not
Can we
true.
get the discharge of this water?
You say?
The discharge of the water.
Yeah, you can, if like the way you know where it is flowing to. Remember the formula of getting the discharge, the cross-sectional area. So each of these you should know. So like I said, we are going to do a hydrolysis analysis, that hydrological analysis at when due. Yeah, so this is taking a bit time. I don't know why, but it's taking time. So probably I think because of the color, like the way the imagery look, probably might be the reason, because it have a lot of cloud cover. So we will have to wait for it. As we don't have option now.
Okay,
Other,
we can't impute anything like add the boundary now.
you
Okay.
say?
Like we can't add anything.
Yeah, we can't add anything because I think this one is done. Yeah, so we can't add anything yet because something is already in process, so we won't be able to add something. Now, if you look at this, you can see that it have actually done it. Now you can see the way the color looks up here. Now, if you observe it critically, you will see that where we have red is where we have residential area, deep red. So this is just what I just did now. So you can see this is principle 1, so which I'm going to make 2024 here. Now, while we wait for it, so let me quickly now add the layer that we want to work on. So I'm going to bring in using the KML file. I'll go back a bit, then I can see if a not here, and I'll click on it. Now I want to save it here. I want to leave it by default. I will export it later. So I'm now converting it from KML file to layer, and that's going to overlay if a not on it. So once it is done, so we are done with the if and not. So if you zoom to the polygon, let's zoom to the polygon, so we definitely see where it is located here. So you can see this is if and not, so that means your school is around here.
Yes, like no down, down.
Down
No, yes. Like inside that, what's it called? There is
somewhere
one
here.
red boundary. Yes. I saw a red boundary, like red line.
So we'll find where your
I'm not
school
putting
is located anyway. So let's export this here. First, let's save the work, and we go back to the location where your file is stored. Go here, and we go to ArcMap, and then we're going to do on image classification, and we save it. So it is saved, so we can click on this and then say export, and we want to save it at home. So I'll click home here, and I will type it if a not, and then I'll save that. I'll click OK, and I'll click OK. Then on that, I will remove this. So this is a way you can bring in shapefile, KML file into ArcGIS, or making it into shapefile. So this is the area of interest, and as you can see here, this is the principal component of 2024. So we will be able to proceed with what we are doing. So you see here looks like a farm. Look at the color So that's why if you look at this, it's a bit changing to a greener here. So what next do we need to do? We now go back again to use the same principle for 2014. So on that, this is 2020, so I'll remove it. So this is 2014, as you here, I will drag it and drop here, this 2014. Then the same thing by default, and then I will run that here. So now, if we continue to do unsupervised classification on this particular entire imagery, so what will happen is that we are likely going to have much time, like it's going to take us much time doing cutting up, like clipping. Sorry, it's going to take us much time to finish this. So because of that, we are going to do something like clipping. So in clipping, in raster, we don't use this clip on the geoprocessing, which is what we use when we are working with vector. So we are going to use either using extract by masking, number one, or we are going to use clipping, which is under raster processing. So any of the two tools is going to work for us. So because if we decide now to make classification in the whole tile, so it's going to take us much time, just like the principal component is taking us time. If we do that same thing for unsupervised, all of them, so it's going to take us much time. So because of that, we are going to use we are going to clip it first before going ahead to do the unsupervised classification. Now on this
Sorry,
note,
can you
okay,
add sorry, can you add if essential?
what did you say?
If essential.
I didn't get you. I didn't hear you.
Can you add if essential?
Can we add?
If essential.
I didn't get you.
Hello, sir.
You say, can we
Can you hear
add?
me, sir?
Yeah, can we add what?
If essential. It's
E-
because it's very easier to do on efficient.
Okay, like you needed us to use if a not and if a central, right?
If essential, yes.
Yeah, we can
To
add
get
it.
the to get the scope.
Okay, like you needed us to have a bigger area, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
we can.
it's for inside. We just add maybe Nigerian shepherd. Just select this one.
So what I'm saying is that you want us to work on if a not and if a central. Is that what you mean?
If essential to get the scope.
I think is the school not in if a central, if a not?
No,
Where is it located?
if essential.
That means we.
Over to it's closer to this one. It will still fall inside this or what downloaded because it's bigger.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking that this school is actually located in the Ife North. That's what I was thinking.
If essential.
Oh, so that means I think it's OAU, right?
Yes, sir.
So that means I was having, because I was thinking it is Ife. So let's go down there. This is the school. Maybe I have the wrong shape file. This is Ife. This is Ayedede. this is Akumusu. This is Ife Central here. This is it.
Okay.
So you are saying that we should use Ife Central instead of Ife North.
Because I downloaded it.
This is your school, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
from the imagery that we have,
Okay.
let's go back there. This is the water body here. This is your school.
So that yes, yes, yes.
And it is located in Ife. It's located in Ife Central or Ife North. So I think there is a kind of this thing here because I'm thinking it's located in Ife North, not in Central. Because this is your school here, and
Yes.
this is the school here too. As you can see, this is the school here. Hmm?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, based on this, let's discuss this a bit. So we are definitely going to have this residential area. We are going to have a bit of water body. We are going to have forest, and we are going to have farmland. So I think we might likely going to classify it into four category.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Or we can make it five and then join the predominantly ones. So whichever way, when the principal component is done, then we can make those kind of joining. So that's what I think. Yeah, so when we'll be talking about supervise, we're going to talk about this word where you say this is water body. Then you tell it this
Yeah.
is a scattered tree. Now this is a bare soil. As you see here now, up above here, there is this is a bare soil. So even if you look at the way it is classified, you see that we have one color here as bare soil. We
Yeah.
have one here as residential area. We have water body here. We have forest. So we have one, we have two, we have three, we have four, and somewhere here we have something like scattered vegetation, which is almost equivalent to what we have
We have red.
here. You see?
I said we have this red.
Yeah. So we are going to take like five. Yeah, because if you see here now, water body is here. We have the residential area here, which is built up area. Then here we have for thick forest down here, as you can see here. We have forest here, residential. We have like farmland, which where we have scattered tree. Then this looks like a rock, right? This is a rock.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So which is like a bare soil, or we can name it rock. So yeah. So we wait for it a bit, and once it is done, we can go ahead to make unsupervised classification. So we still have time. So once we are done, remember the steps. We do band composites. After the band composite for each of them, so we now proceed to the principal component we are talking about now. And remember, we use band 432 and band 8, which is the pancomatric. And like I said, when you're talking about image fusion, so I'm going to say image fusion in remote sensing. So when you talk about image fusion, it is the process of turning raw image into resolution source, and then image fusion technique include, this is the one I'm looking for. Image fusion remote sensor or pan sharpening involve fusing a spatial panchromatic with spectral multivariate to capture the different sensors. So what it works majorly is you use it to improve the quality, the spatial resolution of the imagery. Now, so if you bring in the image like you see here, this is the panchromatic, then you bring both of them, you see it have improved to better to what it was. So you use this, the high resolution, to improve the low spatial resolution. So once you fuse both of them, you have a higher resolution. So that is the function of image fusion. So that was why we decided to use band 8. Like I told you, if you look at band combination for Landsat 8, so you see that Landsat 8 have 11 bands, and from what I was trying to say, you see that band 8 which we have has a bit has a higher spatial resolution than band 432, and it is panchromatic. So we are using that to improve the spatial resolution of the other band. So if you look here, you see that visible band 2, which is blue, have 30 meters resolution. Band 3, green, has 30 meters resolution. Band 4 has 30 meters resolution. If you go to band 8, which is panchromatic, it has 50 meters resolution. So because of this, we are trying to make band shape, which is to use this band 8 to improve the spatial resolution of band to these bands. So this is why if you look at, you see that it is only band 8 that have the highest, that is have the highest spatial resolution. So you see here it only have 15, the rest have 100, 30 and 60. So but it's only band 8 that has the highest spatial resolution here. So that's why we decided to say let us and shape them, or image fusion, whatever you call it. So that's why we decided to get that, so that we can improve the spatial resolution of the imagery. Yeah. Okay, so we're just waiting for this to finish up, and once it is done, we can proceed to whatever we want to do with it. So in this, we have this here, and this is 2024. So the next thing we're going to do once this is done is for us to clip it. And then in the aspect of clipping, there are several ways to do that. The first way to do that is you go down to spatial analysis here, tools here, and you go to extraction, you do extract by mask, and then in extract by mask, you are going to have extract the cell of the raster that correspond to the area defined by the mask. So it means you input the imagery you want here, and then you use the if and not to extract it. So where there is no data, it will be no data. Now that is the first way you can do that. Then the second way is by going to data management tools, go down to the raster here where we have raster, and then go to raster processing and go to clip here. And when you go to clip, you are going to have the same thing. So you bring in the data you want, like 224 for example, then you go here, you want to use if and not, then you can see here the way it is. Then the next thing is use input feature for clipping geometry. Now if you click on this, it means use the minimum bound rectangle to clip. If you check it, it means use the geometry of the selected feature. So that means if you don't check it, you are going to have it the top to the down. But if you check it, you are going to have the image coming based, as in the output based on the extent, how the boundary goes, whether it is regular or irregular, whichever way it is. So you are going to have the output look that way. Is that okay? Yeah, so these are two ways you can get that done. So the waiting is once we get here, so we'll be able to proceed with this part, the remaining parts. Alright, so we are done with 2014. So I'm going to rename it to 2014 here. Alright, so let's quickly now get this done. So we go down to here where we have clip. So let's start from here and then select 2014, then add it up to the if a not, then we now proceed to this, check this and check this. Now I will probably want to leave it there, but maybe let me put it 2014 for now, and I'll click OK. So I want to clip it to 2014. So let me return back again and see what happened. Clip, select it and use if a not and clip it to the extent, and let me click OK. I guess nothing is running. If not, so let me try again. Okay, so I'll check what is the problem later. Let's go to extraction, go to extract by mask, then let's select to Y2024 and let's select if not, and let us run it. So, and I think this worked perfectly. So we have, if you turn off this, and you can see that we have 2014, right? I think we worked with 214, right? So to
Yes, sir.
avoid looking for it, let's go to data and go to the location. If you look here, go to home. Let's go down here and change it from ArcMap here and go to here, which is here. Go to your file, which, where is your name here, data, and then let's put it here and put it a 2014, and here, oh sorry, we need to go back because all we just need to do is to select the folder we want to put it and add, return back here and rename it here. So we're going to rename it to 214 here, and once we are done we click on save, and that's going to add export, and we add it up here, and we have 2014 here. So this is what we had before and this is what we have now. So this is 214, so we can remove this, and then let's do for 2024. So we go in here and select 2024, then input, we use if not, and let's click OK, and it's going to extract 2024 for us. That is clipping extract by mask. So we have 2024 done. So you can see this is 2024. So we also right click on it, on data, click on export, the same location. If you click on here, you see that is in the same location. So all we just need to do is to change it from 2014 and write 224 and click on save, and that's going to export. And then we say, would you like to add the exported data? We say yes, and once that is done, we can now remove 20. This is 2014, so it's left for us either we want to keep it here or to remove it, because we are done with them. So we click here. Now if you look here, you see now we have two data sets. The two data sets is 2014 and 2024. So you can see the pattern where it is formed. See, this is 2014, this is 2024. So you can see the changes that take place over the years by just visual looking. Now what next? So we can decide to go here and say ISO cluster unsupervised classification. Now when you look here, we are going to open up here and we are going to start with 2014 here. So I'm going to remove this and we have 2014. Now we agree that we are going to classify it into 5. That's what we agree on. So we put 5 here. Now leave these ones by default. If you want to output the signature file, you can output the signature file, like let's go home and we will say 2014 signature. So let's save it here. So you can see this is a signature file. Then the intervals, leave it by default except you have reason for changing it. Now this is where it's going to output it to. So you can see up here, this is the location it's going to output it to. So this is 214. Then I am going to run it. So it is now doing unsupervised classification using the 5 clusters like I explained to you initially what
Sorry,
unsupervised
sir.
classification mean. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's the
I don't
question?
understand, like under that classification, where you picked ISO cluster classification.
You say?
Like, where do you see the ISO cluster?
Okay, yeah, I will show you when I'll be doing 2024. Now, this is 2014 based on what we have here. So this is what it gives us as unsupervised classification for 214. Now, if I want to do that for 2024, you can do it by going here, go to Spatial Analysis Tools, go
Data
to,
analyst.
yeah, yeah, here on the Spatial Analysis Tools, go to Multivariate here, and you can see ISO unsupervised classification here. But for my case, I went here, classification, which like I showed you, it is also here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I click on it. Now I am going to
Oh,
select 2000 and so I'll be removing this. So I'm going to select 2024, and then we agree that we're going to use 5 different classes, and this
okay.
is going to be here on its own. So I am also going to output the signature file. So I will put it
Okay.
also, let's say 2024 sing. So I will save it here, and then I am going to now run it here. So then I will just, for the sake of waiting for it, then I can go back to here, still go back, go to ArcMap, and you can see here that we have, this is 2014 signature file here. Then it is going to also, when it is done, we are going to have 2024 signature file also as well. Is that okay? So this is a signature file which we outputted, and we're also waiting for the 2024 to finish. So once 2024 finish, then we have, so this is 2024. Then now I'm trying to open up the signature file. So this is the signature file that I opened, so which is the signature produced by a cluster of the raster. This is the location of the file. Then the number of classes is 5. Then the maximum iteration is 20. The minimum of classes size is 20. The sampling interval is 10. This is the grid. So the number of layers you can see is 4, and it is, you remember what we did, RGB. Now what type? Classes of 5, 4 layers, number of parametric layers, which is 4, and this is the ID, this is covariance, this is the ID, this is the mean, this is the another ID class 3, this is also the mean, this is for 4, this is the mean. Now this is 5, this is the layer, the summary, which have the layer here 1 to 4, and this is the means here, this is the covariance. So this is like the signature file details of what you have. So if you open for 2004, which has been added here, this is 214, so there should be 2024 added. Maybe I didn't save it on the right place, but there should be a signature of 2024. I don't know why I saved it, because I know I saw it somewhere. So probably I didn't save it in the right place, but let me check, because I know there is a place I saw point. So yeah, so there's a particular place I saved it. I don't know. Yeah, so in that, we could also check the location here by going to ISO cluster here, and then this is the output. This is signature file. So this is 2024, and then copy location. So let me know when. So it is here. This is where I saved it. So let me paste it here. I saved it in another location, so let me click enter and then go down. This is where I saved it mistakenly, so I'm going to cut it and then I will return back to where I'm coming from, which is here, and I'm going to paste it here. So you see now that I have 2024 signature. So if you also open it, or let's just edit it with notepad, you can see the difference here. You see the difference between what we have, so you can take your time to study what is the difference between both of them. So now back to here, we are done here. So in this case, as you see here, it have done the classification and give it us like this is 2024. And if you turn off this, you can see that we have 2014. So this is both of them. You can see the pattern here. This is unsupervised classification. So what do you do now? You can open up this. So I am going to add the turn off this, and I'm going to have only remove this, remove everything, and probably use leave 2014. Now in 2014, this is 224. In 214 here, I'm going to have this here overlaid on it. Now if you turn off this, you will see the pattern it is classified. You can see it there. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so for me to get that done, I'm going to switch this layer here, which is the layer of 2024. So I'll click on layer of 2024 here, and then I'll go here to select the layer of 2024 here. Then I can use this to swipe around across it. So this is 2024, which is going to be the higher layer. Okay, sorry, I supposed to use this here, 2024 here, and when I swipe across, I should be able to see what is under it. So this is exactly what I'm doing. So you can see the boundary here as it is here. Where you have red means the same thing. Where you have white means another thing. Where you have blue means residential area. So in that way, so what I could do is you go down here. This is 2024. So we can open up the attribute information here, and you can see the count. So we definitely going to go here and click on add field, and we'll say class, and we're going to use tests, and we click OK, and that's going to add the class for us. So you see up here, what are we going to do? So we are going to like overlay this 2024. So we have actually added this here. So what we are going to do is that we're going to edit, go to edit feature and start editing, and that's going to open up it up for us. So we continue because the projection is not the same thing. So now we are going to click on this again and then go around it like this. Now what do we have in the place? We have blue. You can see, sorry, green is simply
Green
is residential area,
uh,
right?
area.
Yeah, so we have 5, so it means that we can put this by the side like this. You can see the number 5, the value here is 5. If you select it, that will be selected. So let's put it build up.
Up area.
Yeah, so we put it build up area. Now we go again, we select this, which is the next one. What can we say that happened here? For me, I can say it is a farmland for now, so which we can also change. It looks like wetland because it is those places we have the water, like
Down.
what will we call, what are we going to call it?
Water bodies.
Yeah, but it is not more of water bodies because most of these places they have water bodies anyway, but not majorly dominantly water bodies. So I can call it wetland or something like that.
Wet.
So whatever we want, depending on what we think that is there. So I am putting it up like a wetland. Then you go up a bit again, select the next one. You will see that this looks like, for me, I think that looks like a rock.
Which one?
This one selected, the one selected now, the one that is in this one. So what does it looks like? Bare soil or rock area? If you go to Google
Okay.
Earth right here, and we are talking about this rock area, these things looks like a bare soil. This,
Okay. Yes, sir.
so I think we can call it bare soil. What are we going to
Yeah.
call it? So let's make it bare soil. Bare soil. So the next thing, we go again, we select this. For me, this looks like more of this. For me, look, this looks like,
Vegetation.
is it farmland?
Vegetation. Can be.
Yeah, well, we have two vegetation. We have the thick one and the narrow one. The thick one, like here.
Okay.
Yeah, it classified it into two, where we have the thick vegetation by the left hand side, and we have the one that looks like a farmland. So we can call the other one forest and call this other one, let's call this one shrubs, and
Okay.
we'll probably call this one forests. Now you
Forest.
see up here, yes, so we have, this is the the different classes that we have. So we can say stop editing and we can save them. And this now gives us the classes of 2024. So we turn off the class of 2024 and we bring in the classes of 2014, and in the same way we do the same thing here, and we turn off the image of 2024, turning on the image of 2014, and we still use the same tools we are using. So what we need to do is to right click, open here, and we have this again. So for this case, we are going to add field, and we're also going to say class. We're going to use tests, and we click OK, and that's add the class for us here. So we can zoom close to it and still do the same thing we did here. So this white area is, this is here is there is issues
Sorry,
with
sir.
the
Now I
imagery.
have a question.
Okay.
Okay. Like in changing it from the cluster, what's it called, to the normal imagery, like for us to differentiate it,
Okay.
how are you moving it? Like I can see that you are moving it left and right. Like you want to keep it in prayer.
I didn't
The
get you.
ISO cluster and
Okay. Yes. Yes.
you just press it as you long press.
No, what I did was, you must have this here where you have effects.
Okay.
So it is a tools. I'm using the tools here. So what I did was I selected the one I want to be on top here, and I click on this. This is swipe. Is that okay?
Swipe.
Yeah, so once
Okay.
I select that tools, I'm making an edit because I want to see what is under it. So once I select on
Okay.
this, now this is a residential area, as you can see. So I can now
Okay.
click on, we wrote it built up. up
Yes.
area. So we go to the next one here. So once you come here, select this, you can swipe across again. You can see here. So the red one, which is this,
Yeah.
we are going to call it wetland. Now the next one here is number 3. Number 3, what do we call it before? Let's open up the 2014, and also we call it bare soil. So I want to copy it. So I will return back to this layer and name it bare soil. Then number 4,
Then shrub forest.
we call it shrubs. So we
Trees.
return back to the same place again here, and then open it up here, and then copy it and return back to this place and paste it. And then this one, we call it forest. Now we will now stop editing and say yes. Now when we are here, I want us to make export because I want to export it here right now. So I'm going here to say export. So let me clear all selection, go to 24 data, export. So, and I'm going to the location where I want to save it here, which is okay for me. And then I'm going to make it, let's make it year 2024 on, let's make it on here and underscore UN 2024 and save it here and say yes. So now this picks up the name of the class, so I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to also export this data. Save is the same location, so I am going to use the name that we have here. So I'm going to say remove this down to
Yes.
this and still say on, and I will say yeah, and I will say 2014, and I'll click save, and I'll click this. So now on this case, I can remove this, remove, and then here, this is 2014 here, this is 2024 here. Now when this is done, you see I'm having two variables here, so let me quickly make a collapse in all and having only these two. So I don't need any other thing again here for now except these two. Now you can see now that we have a different variation because it is unsupervised classification. But one thing is unique as related to the residential area. What changes majorly because of the imagery is the forested area. Now, before we now start making the judgment, so what we are going to do is that we are going to go here and put it in the color we want. We want a forest to look like what type of color? So let's use the thick green here for forests. Then what other color we're going to use for shrubs? Let's use a color that looks light for shrubs. Then
Like
for bare soil,
brown.
let's use brown.
Brown.
Yes. Then for wetland, let's use the color blue.
Blue.
Yeah, so I think this is okay.
Red.
Yeah, so for built up area, what color?
Red.
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 So let's use the red. Now you see now that we have this in this color up like this. Now in this case, for me, I don't want to repeat for 2014. Remember, okay, I didn't tell you, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the property here. When I go to the property, because the names are the same thing, written in the same way, if it is true, it's going to match. So I'm going to go to property here where I have this. I'm going to save this. When I click on save here, I can go down backward, and then I'm going down to document. I'll go down to your location here, and I'm going to here, I'm going to where your name is located, and I'm going to go to your name here. I'm going to ArcGIS here, and I'm going to say here colors. Let me say layer. I'm just going to write it layer. I'm going to say layer 2024, and then I'm going to save it here. And once I save, I click OK. I'll go back to 2014 here and open it up. And when I open it up, I'll go to the properties here. You can see it line up here. I'll open it, and then I will, if I want to pick it up, I can select 2024, which is year 2024 diff here, UN. Then I'll click OK. It is going to read through here and pick up the same color we use in 2014 in 2024. So I don't need to stress myself grouping it again. So automatically you can see the difference between them. So now what happened? 2014 have more forested area than 2024, even though the pattern didn't go the same way. Remember what I said, because of the imagery. Now we have both of them this way, like this. So what do we need to do? We can now go ahead and put them into tables. Now what we need to do, I'm going to do a new layer. I'm going to click insert and say new data frame. Then what am I going to do is I'm going to do here, edit here, and put here 2024, and then I will edit this layer and put 2014. I have these two layers here, and then I will switch to this layout view. Then for the sake of the size, I am likely going to put them in, go to file here, go to page and setup here. Then I'm going to change this into landscape here. So let me use A4, and I'll click OK, and that's we change it to landscape. Now remember what we were doing last time. I'm going to go to the beginning here, click on 1 and 3 here. Also click on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3 here. Then I will pick this particular one, which probably I am going to select at 20. This is 2024, so I'll put 2014 first. So I will drag 2014 and drop it here. Then I'll go to the end of it here. So I'll click it to zoom. Then I'll go to the end of this here, as you can see. Then open up here, make 1, click 1, 2, 3, drop, go here, 1, 1, 2, 3, drop it. Then I will return here and pick up 2024 and drop it the way it ought to be. What next? I need to split this thing into two. Between here to here, you can see it's 11, which is 0 to 12. So I'll go to 6, where we have 6 here, and then click on this to drop. So in 6, I'm going to do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, and break it, and I also do 1, 2, 3, and break it here. So in this case, what am I trying to do? I will pick up this and drop it like this, and then go down here and I'll also pick here and drop it here. Now do the same thing here, pick this, drop it here, and this perfectly give me two different size. So if I zoom on 2014, I will zoom to layer, and that's going to give me this. Then I will now activate this layer by clicking on it, and I see it is 4999999. So I can adjust the distance to be maybe 380. 1, 2, 3, press enter, and this is 380 here, and I can leave it like this, and I'll copy this and I'll click on this here, and I'll drag 2024 file into it, and I'm going to paste the scale for all them to be in the same scale, and both of them are in the same scale, as you can see here. So what next? The map I'm putting them in order. So in order to make them look alike, I can decide to use one scale between them. What I mean by one legend in them, because the colors are showing the same way. So in that extent, so what I'm going to do is I am going to, sorry, so the next thing I can do here is that I can also put the scale, the grid. So in putting up the grid, so I go down here, coordinate system is already in UTM zone 31, great. Then go here, and then in this, I'm going to, if I want to use measured grid, I will use, if I want, I will use graphical. I'll just click next, and I'll click apply. That gives me to this extent. Now go to property to edit it. I think I like the horizontal component, which is the interval, but I don't like the vertical, that is XY. So if you go to the interval, you see you have 10 here and you have 30 here. So I'm going to change this one as well to 10 and remove this one to 0. So I'll remove this to 0. And then on the labeling, I'm going to go to labels and change this thing to the font I want, and maybe make it 12, and orient this thing right and left to bring this thing into the orientation. We have talked about this before. Then what else again? Click apply, and that's put it for me like this. Then I want to make it in the part of, I don't want it to be the line, I want to make it with plus sign. Click OK, and this is done. So this part is done. Then I will select this again. Now 14, go to the same way, click on it. I think we are using 12 in the other one, so add new grid, then keep on clicking on next, go to property, then select it here to be this line plus intervals 10 30. So I'm going to still make it 10, select 30 here, change it to 0, and in the labeling I'm going to change this thing to 12, and in the font I'm going to change it to the font I want. Rotate this left and right, click OK, and that gives me what we have here. So both of them are in the same way because I'm using the same scale here. So once this is done, I can add other information like not arrow. So I can decide to put both of for both of them, put for both of them. So you can expand it here, not arrow, wherever you want to put it. Then so you have the not arrow here in this. So both have not arrow. Then what next again? You can, if you want to put both of them, depends on you. You can put the legend. The legend are the same thing. So if you want to put this, so we are interested in 2014, so which I can use to represent both. So if I click on preview and click on finish, I will have the legend down here. So you can see the build up area, bare soil, and rest of them. So it is the same thing. Both of them are the same thing. So I might not need to repeat it. Sometimes I used to put it in between here. But when I put it in between here, so I will have to go to the property here, and where I have this, because both of them are the same thing. So I want anybody who look at it knows that it is the same this thing. So I will have to go down to the property here where I have grid, and I can decide to make this the exterior here where I put the grid line axle here, sorry, labels. I'm going to turn off in 214. I'm going to turn off the left hand side, and I'll click OK. That will take away the gridding of the 214. What happened? I used the left instead of the right, so it's supposed to be the right. So I'm going to put left and turn off right, and that will take off this here. It is gone. So I'll do the same thing for this, and I'll go to the property. Now this one I'm going to do it to the left hand side, so I'm going to do the same thing on the left hand side. Then go to properties, click on the left. Just all these ones are just something we're trying to make it looks better. Then right click on the legend, and then go to it, so you can go to frame and maybe put up a frame so that it will make the color stand out. So here you can see this is the legend between them. Then what am I going to do here? So I can remove these classes or the name. So by clicking on it, go to the property here, and where I have this, so I can change it to what I want here. Right click here, go to properties, and then uncheck this and return back here. We can select the land cover either using this, and then that gives us this. So we only have this now. So what next again? If you have any other information you need to add, you can add. Then you can add the tests. For example, insert, then go to test here, and then put something like year 2014, which you can choose to keep here, and change the font to something bigger and make it bigger than what it is here. Let's put it in bold, then you can put it here. You can copy and paste, and then put it here, and then edit it by going to the properties or double click and change 214 to 2024, and then click on save. And that's become 2024. So you put all that information which you are interested in putting the way you want to put it. That's, like I said, that's depend on you. If you don't want to put this here, this line, like the way my own is, you can remove it by unchecking that part. So you see it up here. Then we are going to making the we are going to use, we can add the percentage changes by different way.
Just don't it.
So in that, so we can, there are several ways we can do it. We can use it from Excel. We can do it in different ways. So, but let's quickly like make it from Excel. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to type Excel sheet here. If you want to put up that, so in that way, so I'm going to open up 2014. Go to the open attribute table here, and you can see here. I'm going to do right click here and go to, sorry, I'm going to right click here. I'm not looking, I didn't see what I'm looking for, but let me do the copying
Okay.
quickly. So I can do here and do
So the
here. Yeah, so I supposed to see something like this, but I'm not seeing it. So let me just copy here. I know why it is not coming out. So I'm going to like select all of them because it wanted me to put it in. It wanted me to now do class, change it from this to, it wanted me to have, if I convert this now to polygon, I will have it. Like this is what I mean. Look at the Ife not. You see here you have selection. But if you go to the raster here, there is no selection here. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so
No, sir.
you didn't get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me come and show you what I'm saying again. This is what I'm saying here. If you see here, if you go to the raster file, you have a selection option here. You get that?
Okay.
But if you go to the
Yes.
sorry, to the vector file, you have selection, but in raster you don't have it. Do you see what happened here? So there is no selection. Yeah, but I can also do that here, where you can also create, you can see here, if you want to create a graph, you can create it. If you want to add to layer, you can add it to layer. You can also report or you can export. So any of them will work perfectly. So if you go here, let me click on end to see where it is. So it's going to be DLEF at the end of it here. So if I click OK, it's going to now export it. So I want to add the table here. As you can see, this is the table of the export. If you open, you see this table here. This is just the table. So which ideally is supposed to be selecting, but it's not selecting. So what I'm going to do in this case, because it wants me to put it in, I'm going to clear selection. I'm going to return back here, go to 214, go to open attribute information, then I'll go here and go to reports, and I'll create a report. So because it's, I needed to like make this. So this is the report. So the report is also going to be an issue. Okay, so I don't want us to start, and if you say add to layout here, and it will be added it to layout here. So which is going to add to which one? Let me see. Okay, so to save us that stress, so to save us from that stress, because I wanted to make the conversion, but I just feel like we are running out of time, because it wants me to start making, for example, you copy this and then you go here and then you paste it like this. I didn't want to do that because I feel like it's going to take me time. So, and if you say here and then do copy for all of them and come here to paste, it only pastes the particular cell which you copy here. You get that? So
Yes, sir.
it's stressing me. That's what I think. So I didn't want to like go through that stress. So I wanted to, the best way, we are going to do the best way, how we are just going to export all of them, and that's going to work. But we are running out of time. So I'm going to paste this here, and then I'm going to copy the last one, which is copy, return back Excel and paste. What I'm saying is if you have too much things, it's going to be a problem doing it like this. So I'm going to put class here. So this is year 20 what? This is year 2014. So let me put Y 2014 here. Then let me also add insert here and then put Y 2024. So now we go back again here and open 2024 here, and what we need to copy now is we just copy the corresponding value for each of them. We paste it, we copy, we paste it, we copy. So when we'll be doing supervise, we will convert it to vector so that we won't be having this kind of challenge we're having now. Because if we have vector, it will just be like copy it once and it is done. So the classes, the first class we have here, based on what we work was, is forests. So we copy the forest and paste the forest. The second class we have is shrubs. So we copy, paste it. The third listing we have here is bare land. We copy, we paste it. The fourth one we have is wetland. We copy and we paste it. The fifth one we have here is we copy and we paste it. Now this is what we have here, which we can make this. So for us now to get the percentage, we can decide to do this kind of, select all of them, press Ctrl Q, and then here when you press Ctrl Q, go to total, you go to total here, and you can get here to total percentage. So already added here. Do you want to replace it? No, I don't want to replace. So I want to do for each of them here, and then I'm going to press Ctrl Q, total, this, go here, percentage, then shit, Control Z. Then I'm going to click insert here to have the table here by the right. So select Control K and then go to total, scroll down to percentage total here, click on it, and this is the percentage automatically calculated. Insert, go here, do the same thing here, select this and press Ctrl Q and go down to total and go to the right here, total percentage, and this is added here. So if you do alternate equal to and press enter, that should be 100. Drag this to here to check, that's also 100. Then also do alternate equal to here, and that gives you the total area to check what can it equal to. That's also give you the total to check. So we have the same thing here, but it is not a percentage, it's a number. So you see we have the same area here as related to this. So you see bare soil as it increase. So what in our case, so we can say year 2024 year percent. Let's remove the end of this here. Then we say year. Let's remove this and go home and press year. That is Y 2024. Are we still together?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to copy this, I'm going to paste it here. Then because I have this, I can choose where I want to place them. So for me, I don't need this. I just want to show the percentage changes. Sorry. So I'm going, this is linked to this, so if you delete it, it will run away. So the best thing I can do is 2014. So the best thing I can do is I can copy this from here to here and hold control, copy this from here to here and copy this from here to here, and then copy, and then I paste it here. And when I am pasting, I am only going to paste values. So this is the value as it is. So I can copy this and change the font to what I want the font to be. So I'm going to open it up here and put it on this. And what is the size I want to put it? I can make it size 12.
Sir,
And
sorry,
okay,
I have a question.
you say?
What if we want to compare both? We
You,
want to make comparison between both years.
yeah, we can make a comparison, which is what we're going to do next. So
Okay.
there are several ways to make comparison. So we are going to make comparison using different visualization. But you can see the value here, 33, 34 forests,
Mm.
24, 34 in shrubs, there was increase. Then there is also
Was
increase in
there
bare
hair?
soil. There is a decrease in water body, and there
Decrease
is
in
an
wet market.
increase in built up area. So this is just like example. So I can say land cover land use classes. So when this is done, I'll put it up like this and maybe put it in all border, and I'll copy it. I'll return back to ArcGIS and I'll close this. So close up this, and then I'll press here and I can paste this here. Sorry, what happened? See, there's still problem with the because you can you still paste the content within the workspace. Okay, I don't know what happened. That's English speaking. So we paste here because this is my interest here, for example. So I want to put up this here, so I can just decide to drag this here and put it up somewhere here. And I choose to select this and then click on this to pan it to the right, for example here. And then I'll
Okay.
also click on this to select this like this and click on this hand to move this a bit to the right here so that it will not be overlapping. Then I'll select this, click on this because I still want to put this thing around here. So I'll click on this. I can go to properties here and frame here, and I can also need to put the background because I don't want it to be transparent, and this is done up like this. So with this is just like a bit of what we will do today, and I can save it, and then I'll click here and say export. So remember to keep our data because we are going to use Python to analyze what we are talking about now. So because that's the game. So I can use what is here, and I'm going to use unsupervised. So I'm going to make it on the same thing, un underscore, and then I'll save it. And once it's done exporting, so we can go down there and wait for it. So let's go there, click backward and go to the map and then wait for it to finish. So this is unsupervised classification, which is still loading. So let's open it up, and it's going to say here not found, file not found. So let's wait for it, refresh. Once it finishes exporting, we will see it. So we have it here. Like I said, you can see it here. Okay, so we didn't put something, so which I like putting. So I'm going to click on insert, click on it line, and place it in the margin. Click OK, and once it is added, I can drag it here, and I can also drag it a bit here and drop. So what else is remaining? I don't like this line showing here, so I'll select this, go to the property here. Then when I get to the property here,
Yeah.
and then I can go to graphical here where I have the line, the axle here. So I don't want, this is the axle here, so I don't want anything that is in the left hand side for 2024. So I don't need anything in the left hand side for 2024. So also I don't need anything in the 2014. I don't need anything in the right hand side, so I'll turn it off. Whatever that is in the right hand side, I'll click OK, and then I'll click OK. So whatever that is in the right hand side is supposed to go, as you can see. So everything that is the right hand side is gone. So I'll also do the same thing in 2024, but in 2024 it's going to be on the left hand side. So I'll go to the left hand side of 2024 and go to the properties here, and when I get to the properties, I will go click on left. I don't need anything in the left hand side, and I'll click OK, and I'll click OK, and let's put it up the way I want it, and then click here and click export. So while we're waiting for it, remember to save this.
Scale. Scale.
Okay, yeah, we didn't put scale. So let's go down to the location. Let's browse the location here. Then go down to the recent place we are working on. So we go down to ArcMap. I think this should be it. So go here and go to data, and then we can put it here. Unsupervised land overland use data. So we will use it in next time, that is on Friday and Saturday, on working on this. So for now, we rest. So now let us replace it here. Before, while we are replacing, so we need to put the scale like you said, so we can put our scale the right place we're supposed to put it, depending on what our choice is. So we put the scale and other features that ought to be there. So we click on this to fit it in. Now we can put our scale where we want it by clicking insert. Click on this. I want it to be it, so I don't like stress, so I like something like this. And the scale will come in here, so I can decide to put it where I want to put it here. Scale can be here, scale can be there, so you are definitely going to find a place you are going to put it to fit in perfectly. So for my case, I'll find a way to put it perfectly next time, but for today, let it be somewhere. So on this, I'm going to put the scale, let the scale carry all the bordering they have. So I just have I have issues with my mouse, and
Yes.
yeah, so I think the battery is a bit tired, so it have abandoned me. So if I'm touching it, it's looking at me. But basically, this is what I am talking about. So I think we'll put the scale in our next section. So So let me leave it for now because I'm struggling with my. I am actually struggling
So,
with it without. I'm struggling with it, so I would prefer us to put. Who prefer us to put the scale next time. So, but for this, so we return back to this, and if we refresh this, we should be able to have a perfect what we want and the way it is. So this is basically this, but you can see the higher correlation in residential area and wetland. So do you have any question?
you said the comparison,
Yeah, you can see the comparison here by visual.
like if you want to compare, like to make analysis, okay, between 64, there is 1% increase.
Yeah, the first
Maybe
comparison
okay, that would be like
the first
to look
comparison
at.
you can do is here. So there are several ways you can do it by minusing it by saying minus subtractive. Now in the subtractive, which we are going
Okay, in Excel, is this Excel?
yes, we can use Excel. We can also use it in spatial and like analyze them subtractive percentage. Yeah, so but that's
Uh,
what I'm saying that we're going to do that in our next section. The different ways you can do it. So if I want to see here, for example, what we have here now. If I want to check differences, now I can simply say this thing is equal to whatever that is here because it is 2024 minus whatever that is here. You will see that this is the changes to here. And this gives me what it is.
sorry,
What did you say?
you said the equal, the
Yeah,
code.
yeah, what I did was I put the difference. I wanted to see the difference between this and this. So I'll just say equal to this is the percentage,
Yes.
or I can use the
Okay.
percentage
Okay.
minus this percentage gives me this. Then once I do this, I'll double click
Okay.
here and that gives me it. Or the same thing I can say this thing is equal to 2024 minus 2014. Then you can see the changes here and I will double click and I'll get the values in this part. So there are different ways we're going to do, but we're going to make the visualization in Python because that's one of the aspects we want to talk about. So if you come join in the next section, come with your PC. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
or we're going to talk about when we can between now and Friday. We just need to install Jupyter Lab. That's just what I want you to do, and then we'll use Python to do the rest of
Okay,
the
sir.
things we need to do. All right. So this is the and this is pretty much of it for today. And then if you have any questions.